Well, good morning, everyone, and Merry Christmas. Bearheart and I are coming to you this Christmas morning to give you a special message from the unusual animals. One of my Christmas presents this morning. Gotta love friends that get you. And this is the book. And these are the backs of the cards. Got little paw prints and things in it. And they have some very unusual, I was looking through them earlier, some unusual animals in there. But today, we're just going to ask what the message, if the animals want to give us a message for this Christmas day. And Bearheart has already rubbed his energy in, like he does when he likes it. He knows it's about animals. He's all for it. Look, he's just getting his energy in there, making sure everybody gets the right card and the right message this Christmas. Oh, there's a jumper. This Christmas morning. So far, I hope you're having a very beautiful start to your Christmas. And I hope you got everything you dreamed of and wished for. The biggest one being peace on earth and love toward mankind. But sometimes you gotta listen to the animals too, because they're a part of our universe. So if you're new to the channel, I welcome you. Thank you for being here. I'm Reverend Dr. Elena Skyhawk, and normally I do these readings every Sunday for the collective. But when I saw one of my Christmas presents was this. I was like, ooh, let's do a special Christmas message. The other gift, there's the second card. The other gift was a box full of Grinchmas Christmas kisses. So those are tasty. So some of these animals, I was looking through the deck earlier when I was separating the card. I mean, it's so new, the cards were still all stuck together. They had animals in here I've never even heard of. So hopefully some of these that come out that want to give us a message today are ones I've heard of before. And the deck is created by Manda Comisari. So again, that's the book. Let me get my fingers away from her name. And she shows some of the weird animals on the back of the book. I know the one in the middle on the bottom is a jellyfish. I'm not quite sure what some of the other ones are. So like I said, it was a very interesting deck. And I thank my friend for gifting it to me this Christmas so that I can share it with all of you. And I think we got one more card. One more animal. And then we'll see what they actually mean and what the message is. These are really like slick cards, very smooth. Okay. Now, let's see what we have. So the first card that came out was the Vulture Bee. Recognize similarities and cultivate empathy. I didn't know there was such a thing called a vulture bee. Kind of interesting looking critter. Stop moving that. And of course, this one is the polar bear. Good manners are appreciated and remembered. And then the third one is the Sockeye Salmon. Remember your roots. So now let's look at the bigger, well, apparently they don't go in alphabetical order. So let me see if we can find them. Like I said, there's some strange little animals in here. So this is going to be a fun deck for me to play with as we learn more about the animal kingdom. There's a lot of sea creatures in this one. Alrighty, that one's a creepy looking thing. Well, this is interesting because they're not, okay, there's the salmon. Oh, there it is. The Vulture Bee. Would make it much easier if they were in alphabetical order, but they're not. So again, so the Vulture Bee is all about recognizing similarities and cultivating empathy. Their habitat is in Central and South America. The Vulture Bee teaches us that we can find commonality in places we least suspect. Recognizing our similarities cultivates the empathy we need to thrive together on planet Earth. This flesh-eating bee proves that we're all more alike than we think. While other bees survive on a vegetarian diet, the vulture evolved mostly to eat carrion. The adult still snacks on nectar, but also gathers meat to feed its young. To adapt to the change in diet, the bee has evolved an extra tooth on its mandibles and specialized gut bacteria, which it shares with vultures and hyenas, that help it fight off pathogens typically found growing on carrion. The lesson of the vulture bee extends past commonalities found within similar species and encompasses all of life on Earth. Are we really all that different from one another? If an insect can share gut bacteria with a bird and a mammal, and we humans can share a lesson with that same insect, the logical conclusion is that we're all intrinsically more connected than we ever knew. Again, brings in Matakue Oyasi. We are all related. Doesn't matter what deck comes to me, the message is always very clear. We are all related. Excuse me. And we need to pay attention. We need to communicate with all beings on this life. So it's asking you to try this. Instead of focusing on the things that set you apart from everything else, consider elements that connect you. This can be applied to another human, an animal, or the environment. Understanding the commonalities between us creates empathy and reminds us of our connectedness. You can practice this idea by taking a deep breath. As you inhale, recognize that the oxygen filling your lungs is essential to most life on Earth. It binds us together. And that is a very good message to remember. Always, we are all related. So then we go on to the polar bear. So what is its message for us this Christmas day? Good manners. Absolutely. The habitat, of course, is the Arctic. The polar bear teaches us that good manners are appreciated and remembered. Manners can help make a good first impression, foster stranger relationships, and inspire others to reciprocate. This endangered bear knows how important it is to be considerate and respectful. They use their nose to communicate their intention to other bears. For example, if one polar bear comes across another that has food, it slowly approaches and circles before touching the other bear's nose with its own. This type of passive behavior asks for permission to share and usually leads to an invitation to join in. Like the polar bear, we should acknowledge how important manners are. They're the difference between making a good or a bad first impression and can open up doors of opportunity. People remember when someone is gracious, polite, and courteous in the same way they remember when someone treated them poorly. While the world is always shifting and new trends continuously pop up, good manners are timeless. So the polar bear asks you to try this. Having good manners is a sign of respect for yourself and those around you. It shows that you're caring and considerate of other people's feelings and helps you stand out in the crowd. Good manners aren't just about saying please and thank you, although they're always appreciated. They influence how you act toward other people, even those you disagree with. In the words of Maya Angelou, people will forget a lot of things, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And how true is that? You'll always want to treat people the way that you want to be treated. And the third message came from the Sockeye Salmon, who says, remember your roots. So the habitat of the salmon is the western coast of North America and the northern Pacific Ocean. The Sockeye Salmon implores us to remember our roots. It presents a before and after snapshot that shows how far we've come and where we might still need to go. This dynamic fish remembers where it came from. This species begins its life in fresh water and rears in lakes until ready to migrate to the ocean. But in order to complete its life cycle, it must return to fresh water to spawn. The sockeye salmon's body slowly changes over the 6 to 8 week journey back to home waters. Both males and females will find their noses hooking downward, and their colors transforming from blue and black to red and green. These modifications make them more attractive to the opposite sex and help deter potential competitors. Just like the sockeye salmon, we can return to our roots to understand where our life journey began. This gives us insight into how we've evolved as people and formed the belief system that shape our thinking. Once we have context from our past, we can begin making choices in our present and future that supports the life trajectory that we want. So the salmon, the sockeye salmon, is asking you to try this. Remembering your roots gives you ample opportunity for self-reflection and growth. It might be a way to accelerate a healing process, reconnect with forgotten values, or shape a stronger sense of identity. Roots don't always have to be familial. Sometimes they can be friendships, experiences, or locations. Ultimately, your roots are simply the foundation that made you who you are. So that's a beautiful reading from the animals this Christmas Day of 2025 to let you know, to contemplate who you are, where you came from, what beliefs are you holding on to, what can you let go of as we get ready to go into 2026. What can be left behind in 2025? Energies, thoughts, beliefs, attitudes that don't serve you anymore. Don't serve humanity. Don't serve the Mother Earth. So kind of sit and contemplate with that on where did I come from? What is not just your ancestry, but your soul? Look at the roots. How far back does your soul go? What lessons is it time to really look at, uncover, heal, and move forward from? I always like to call it the blooming onion of healing. Because just like those big onions, you peel off pieces of it as you eat it, and there's always, darn it, there's always more. And that's how healing works. But as you go backwards in time to remember who you are, some of the stuff that needs to be healed might be from a past life that you're still carrying. So it's time to look at it. Release those beliefs. Release the attitudes, the judgments. Nobody has the right to judge. Yet we all do it. But we don't have that right, not even to judge ourselves. So be kind to yourself today. Be gentle. Love those around you. Appreciate those around you and let them know that you love them and appreciate them. Don't just assume that they know how you feel or what you're thinking. So that is our beautiful message from the unusual animals today. The vulture bee, the polar bear, and the sockeye salmon. And as always, if you like and enjoy this channel, I appreciate a like, subscribe, share, so that we can get more people to follow and grow the channel so that we can spread more love, more joy, more peace, more harmony on the planet. And I hope you have a great rest of your Christmas day. Enjoy it. Enjoy being with your family and friends. And we'll see you on Sunday for our regular weekly meeting. Again, this is Reverend Dr. Elena Skyhawk. I was going to say signing off. So remember, my friends, walk in beauty. Always walk the sacred path of love. Bye for now.